In today's lecture, we're going to learn how to create an undetectable backdoor. A backdoor is basically an executable or a program that would give us full control over the target machine. We're going to use a tool called vil evasion to create a backdoor that cannot be detected by most antiviruses or even all antiviruses. First of all, we need to install the tool because it doesn't come installed in Kali. The command that we're going to use to install the tool is apt-get install vil evasion. So as you know, apt-get is the repository manager, and then install is to install the program, and the name that we want to install is called vil evasion. I'm gonna hit enter, and it's telling me that now it's gonna download all of these packages. It's 257 megabytes of download, so there's quite a few packages that need to be downloaded. I'm gonna let this download, and I'm gonna resume once the download is finished. Okay, so the installation is over now, and I'm going to run the tool by typing vil. So it's asking me if I want to install it, and I'm gonna say yes. Now this is an installer for Python, and I'm just gonna navigate through it, and I'm gonna say yes. And now it's installing Wine. Now all of these programs are used and are needed and used by vil when creating the payloads. That's why we need to install them. So it's installing all of them for us automatically. Really, all we're doing is just clicking next. Now it's installing Ruby for us. These are interpreters. There's a Python interpreter and a Ruby interpreter. That's installed as well. So the installation is over, and it automatically started vil for me. So let's have a look on some of the main commands that you can use with this tool. Now it's very similar to Metasploit. So you can use to use something, info to get information about a payload, list to list all the available payloads, update to update, clean to clean, and check the payload hashes. We're going to talk about that later. This will basically check if any of your payloads is detectable by antivirus programs, and then exit to exit. Now I'm just going to do an update to make sure that everything is up to date. And it seems like everything is up to date. So the first thing I'm going to do is type in list to see all the available payloads that I can make using this framework. Now the first part of these payloads is the programming language that these payloads are written in. So you can see here it's Python, Ruby in here, and you can see that it's in C here. And you also have native payloads. So we are going to use a reverse connection, and we're going to use a meterpreter type, and I'm going to talk about meterpreter in the post-exploitation part. To use this, it's number 9. So we're going to say use 9, and this is the payload that's going to be used. And as you can see, it automatically shows the options that we can set, and it's telling us that we're in CS meterpreter reverse HTTP. This is a flag that it'll compile the file to exe, and we're going to leave that the way it is. The port that it's going to connect back to, because this is a reverse connection, so it's going to connect back to us. This way we'll be able to bypass firewalls, and it's using 8080. 8080 is a really good port to use because it's used by web browsers. So if the target computer connects to something on port 8080, it's not going to be suspicious. And if you want to even make it better, make it connect at port 80. But for now, I have a web server running on port 80, and I'd have to stop it. So I'm just going to keep it at 8080. So the only thing that we need to set here is the lhost. Now this is very similar to the way we do it with Metasploit. So we're going to do set lhost, and we're going to set that to the IP address of my device, which is 10.20.14.203. And let me just confirm that. And that's correct, 10.20.14.203. So I'm gonna hit enter. And if we do info now to show the options, you'll see that this is set correctly, 10.20.14.203. It's a interpreter, reverse HTTP. Everything is good, everything is ready to go. So I'm gonna do generate to create this payload. Now it's asking me what do I want to call it. I'm gonna call it backdoor exe. And that's it, it's done. It created the backdoor for us and it's stored in the following location. So I'm gonna copy that. And it's also asking us not to submit any samples to online scanners. This is because once you scan this online, especially with websites like VirusTotal, they'll use the code to reverse engineer it and find the way that it has been encrypted. So the best way to check if the file is detectable or not by antiviruses is by using the hash that is generated for the file. So Vil automatically generates a unique hash for each file, and we can use the check VT command to check all the generated hashes for our backdoors with VirusTotal. And that way it'll check if it is detectable by any antiviruses or not. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to make sure that my file is not detected by antiviruses. And as you can see, it's saying that none of my payloads is detectable by VirusTotal. And we all know that VirusTotal has a number of antiviruses, so it has about 30, I think, antivirus programs, and all of them are not able to detect my backdoor right now. Now you can also test it if you have antivirus installed on your computer. You can test it and scan it, but please don't submit it to online scanners. So in the next video, we'll see how we can listen on that port and test the backdoor that we created to see if we can get a connection and control the target computer.